There you are, playing the PvP in your World War II shooter, and all of a sudden, you're a Nazi. You didn't ask for this. You didn't choose this. Yet there it is. And it's treated no differently than playing a British soldier.
Oh, those extra credit guys are a bunch of Ramses, aren't they? Fucking spastics. Hey guys, it's your boy here, Dr. Says, back once again with the ill fucking behavior. So how are all you wonderful people? I hope you're all happy and healthy. So Extra Credits released a video a few weeks back titled, Stop Normalizing Nazis, Socially Conscious Game Design Extra Credits. Now just for the records, I didn't know anything about Extra Credits prior to the release of this video, so I'm just as clueless who these guys are as you are. Now I will warn you guys, to say that this video is fucking retarded would be a gross understatement, so you may want to prepare yourself. So why don't we dive into this video and see what Extra Credits have to say, because from that first 14 seconds alone, I can already tell I'm in for a good time.
This is bad on so many levels. No one should ever have a random chance of fighting for the Nazis. And we should never express that there's no meaningful difference between Nazis and Allied soldiers, or that they're functionally interchangeable.
Alright, hold the phone for a second. Who the fuck is saying that the Nazis and the Allied powers are the same? Also, who gets a random chance to fight for the Nazis?
And before anyone equivocates and says not all German soldiers in World War II were Nazis, if they were wearing the swastika and are functioning as an arm of the Nazi government, then unless the game goes out of its way to tell you specifically that your particular character is not a Nazi, then they're a Nazi.
So hang on, you want the game to be like this? Hey you, the one that's playing this game right now. You know that soldier you're playing as? The one that's actually a game character, is not actually a real person, it doesn't fucking exist? But since you're playing as him, and he's a Nazi, that makes you by default a fucking Nazi.
In that multiplayer shooter, when it switched you to the German side, did it go out of its way to tell you that the person you're playing was pressed into service under threat of their life? Yeah, that's a big ol' nope.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. Why the fuck would it? Would you want to be interrupted while you're playing a game with shit like that? Oh, am I fucking kidding? Of course they fucking would.
Oh, and on a similar note, let's please stop forcing people to play as terrorists as well. There you are, playing your modern shooter, and all of a sudden you're a terrorist. You didn't ask for this, you didn't choose this, and yet second verse, same as the first. There it is.
Oh yeah, because when someone's playing CSGO or any other game where a terrorist is the antagonist in the game, and they're on the terrorist side, they're gonna be like this. Oh shit, I'm on the terrorist side. I guess that must mean I'm a terrorist now. On it, boy!
I mean, that's literally the name of your side in the game. We can do better than this. Even if you put aside all of the people who have had traumatic experiences with these groups, who have lost loved ones to terrorists, or who have had generations of their families wiped out by Nazis, no one should have to put on the costume of an ideology they find abhorrent without actually opting into it in your game. And by making people do so, we get them to stop thinking about it, to stop thinking of the meaning behind these things. We normalize them.
Aye, because you casually just see Nazi uniforms in shop windows every time you go about anywhere.
We make them just window dressing for entertainment. Those uniforms, those symbols, become things that no longer inherently revolt us. They reduce our visceral reaction to seeing the embodiment of these ideologies.
So by Extra Credits logic, that means we can't make any games, films, TV shows, nothing about World War II or terrorists because they have Nazis and terrorists in them. And it also looks like they use that logic, if we don't think about it or we don't discuss it, it didn't happen.
Now, does this make us totally ignore the history that comes with them? No. But for some people, it moves them from the territory of revolting to just edgy. It makes scrawling a swastika on something change from unthinkable to just dangerous. It means you might not take iron crosses all over a website as a warning sign that you should immediately leave. And if you don't leave, you might start reading and buying into hateful ideas there.
Hang on a minute, are they saying that if someone came across a website with swastikas and Nazi ideology, that if they kept on reading, that they will buy into and follow that Nazi ideology? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not denying that there are probably some people that are that impressionable and that gullible, or they're probably neo-Nazis to begin with, but I imagine the public at large wouldn't buy into Nazi ideologies. And also, what fucking lunatic is spraying swastikas on a tiger and a cat? Like, the person animating this, were they on fucking meth? Shoot that bitch.
It seems like such a small and simple thing, but it's things like this that erode our safeguards against dangers we sacrifice so much to fight. By the time you've played 100 hours of being a Nazi, their voice stabs become memes and in-jokes with your friends.
Oh yeah, because when someone puts in 100 hours of a World War II related game, let's say Wolfenstein for example, they're gonna start shouting anti-Semitic slurs and sharing memes of the Third Reich. Yeah, fuck off, will you?
By the 1000th time you've respawned as a terrorist, you're either celebrating them or making fun of them. Neither of which helps the global crisis we have that takes thousands of lives every year.
Now, at this point, I have no idea what global crisis extra credits are referring to. I don't know if they mean the climate change or the threat of war breaking out or whatever. I legit have no fucking idea what global crisis are referring to.
So what do? That's easy. Don't make them morally equivalent. Don't make there be no in-game moral difference between your Nazis and your allies, between your terrorists and your counter-terrorist squads. Frame PvP as a training exercise.
So if you don't want them to be different, you know, allied powers, Axis powers, couldn't get any more fucking different than that, what are you suggesting we do? Make them the same?
Or simply take one of your non-odious sides and recolor them so that it's red versus blue, rather than Axis versus allies.
Fuck me, of course. That's the solution we needed all this time. Just simply change the colors. My god, extra credits, what other insightful and revolutionary ideas will you come up with next?
A good example of a game that does this is Rainbow Six Siege. All of your bomb diffusion and hostage rescue multiplayer with no normalizing terrorists. In fact, by having all of the characters as counter-terrorists training for a possible threat, it highlights how real and present of a threat that is. And if you decide that you need to have both sides be playable, don't make them interchangeable. Don't have players randomly spawn in as one or the other. Allow players to choose which side they're on.
But how does that solve your problem? I'm pretty 110% sure you can already choose what team you want to be on. Spazzy bastards.
Now, of course, this has all sorts of in-game problems, such as creating shorter wait times for fascists.
Wait, what?
Such as creating shorter wait times for fascists.
Do you know what? I'm not going to bother responding to that.
But you know what? Those wait times could be artificially extended if it meant players had an active choice in what teams they would represent if you're saying we need people playing Nazis in our games.
So you want longer wait times so that people can choose what team they want to be on, even though they can already fucking do that. Now this last bit, I don't know if this is some kind of edit fuck up or he just says it in the most ramified way possible, but, and I quote, if you're saying we need people playing Nazis in our games.
If you're saying we need people playing Nazis in our games.
You know what? I think that should be on a fucking t-shirt.
And if you're going to say, but we need it for historical reasons, then your game better actually be historical. You can't really just hide behind the fact you called your desert map El Alamein and say, but it's historical.
But it would be. Like, it would be historically accurate if someone made a game that was set in World War II and they made a map, called it El Alamein, and made it look like the exact same place in 1942. It would be historically accurate. Do, like, extra credits just not know this?
If that were the case, you need your PvP to at least represent real historical events and be a realistic take on those battles. Once you make both sides balanced, it's also no longer historical. And you can't really say that you need Nazis anymore for historical accuracy. Oh, and once you let players get cool weapons that weren't actually at that particular battleground, it's also no longer historically accurate. And you can't declare that your game will suffer if you don't put players in the jackboots of the Third Reich.
If something isn't historically accurate, it isn't historically accurate. Like, extra credits, do you not know what fucking fiction is? But if you're trying to be historically accurate and you don't put any Nazis in your, let's say, drama documentary, your drama documentary won't be historically accurate because it hasn't got any fucking Nazis in it.
And once your map is something carefully designed to have good gameplay by a team in a room in San Francisco or LA, and it's not a faithful reconstruction of the actual places the historical events occurred in, you can no longer say we need to have players take up arms in service of terror or hate.
But they won't be, because they're just playing a fucking video game.
And look, we're not saying we can't have games about World War II or about terrorism.
Isn't that what you've been saying this whole video?
We're not even saying we shouldn't make games where you play as a Nazi or a terrorist.
Again, haven't you just been saying that for the whole duration of the video?
But what we are saying is that the fact that you're playing as a Nazi or a terrorist in a game has to mean something. And it can't just be a skin. It can't be something that a game randomly drops you into.
What fucking game is just randomly turning your character into a Nazi? And if someone is playing as a Nazi character, it's because they're playing a World War II related game. Like, this is not a hard concept to fucking grasp. But maybe extra credits will provide some games that actually do this.
And really, if we are saying anything in this episode, it's this. Games can do better.
Oh, no, thought fucking not.
And in this particular case, it's not even that hard to do better. And it's no more costly to do better. All it requires is that we in the game industry be cognizant of the world around us and what these symbols we're drawing on mean. That we think as we're building, not just about the game we're working on, but about the world as a whole. If we can do that, we can take a big step forward for the industry. We can stop helping to normalize Nazis.
What the fuck is up with that face? It's like it's saying, you heard that, you fascist scum? Stop normalizing Nazis. Or, playing a World War II game equals you're a Nazi shitlord. I love how they put a caption at the end, enjoy the show? Like, I enjoyed some cuck telling me that I'm an anti-Semite terrorist for 6 minutes. Of course I love the fucking show. Now all it needs is a smiley face at the end of the caption. Alright, let's see who the mastermind is, the brains behind this script of wisdom. Wow. What a cuck. So in conclusion, what do I think about extra credits video? Well, in all seriousness, it's just fucking moronic. Like, trying to process a doublethink in every sentence is a testament to anyone's fucking sanity. And extra credits seem to think that if you play as a Nazi or a terrorist in a game, a fiction, something that is not real, that makes you, the player, a Nazi and a terrorist. And this video is like the old, if you play violent video games, the player will become violent. And it's just that old retarded logic that just makes no fucking sense and has been debunked so many goddamn fucking times now, it's actually unreal. But in all reality, it's just a bunch of Ramses that string something together. But what do you guys think about extra credits video? Do you think they're Mongs? Do you think I'm a Mong? Do you think they're speaking sense? Do you think I'm speaking sense? Let me know in the comments below. Or hit me up on Twitter at my new account, Hawaii Bad Boy. So go follow my new account and follow me on Instagram as well. Links will be in the cheeky description for you. And like and favorite the video and subscribe to the channel and share the video to anyone and everyone you know. Or, you know, don't. It's entirely up to you. It's a free fucking country. And as always guys, adios amigos and goodbye guys. So as always guys, adios amigos and oh shit, oh my god. Just slapped the fucking thing.